A very long time ago, an old, wise, and possibly tall and handsome young man said this quote: "I'd rather run headfirst into a brick wall to fall asleep than play Sigma." And I think I see where he's coming from. I think Sigma is missing that intensity that Reinhardt has. When I'm playing tank, I want to feel powerful, and that's what Reinhardt can enable. That overwhelming presence of brute force, tanking every shot that comes your way. And I know what you're thinking, don't play Sigma then because that's not what he's supposed to be. Well, I don't play Sigma. He's just not my cup of tea. So if Sigma doesn't give me the playstyle that I'm expecting from a tank, what good comes from picking him? Now I should point out, I'm not saying Sigma's weak, in fact he's one of the strongest tanks in the game right now. And the reason I bring this up is because in previous videos, people would confuse me talking about tank playstyles with me just not liking a character for the sake of being mean, I guess? So with that being said, where do I get my enjoyment from playing Sigma? First, let's break down all of Sigma's abilities. Starting off with his primary fire, the Hyperspheres. I can confidently tell you right now that the little handballs that Sigma throws at his enemies aren't the reasons I enjoy Sigma. Just because he has 2 charges of his attacks that do 55 damage each with a massive ricocheting range of 22 meters with an area effect of 3 meters doesn't mean I gotta like it. Because Sigma's primary fire does have that ricocheting effect and deals AoE explosive damage, it gives him a lot of value. In the right hands, a Sigma player can create an infinite amount of space because he can just attack anyone from anywhere at all times, which is really important because a tank making space for their team is their #1 priority. Kinetic Grasp is really essential for Sigma's kit to keep that flow of constant pressure. All damage caught by this ability gets recycled into Sigma's health pool, but only 60% of it. I'm pretty sure I worded that wrong, so let me give you an example. If you absorb 90 damage, Sigma will get 54 health in return. Now, because Overwatch is a very complicated game, there's a lot of variables that go into decision making, but I recommend using this ability when all of your other abilities are on cooldown, so this can give you some form of protection. In my Ramatra video, I had a small dedicated section talking about the shields in Overwatch 2 and which ones are the most effective. In that video, I end up saying that Reinhardt's shield is one of the worst in the games when it comes to deployment speed and Ramatra's is good, but I think Sigma's is the best. Not only can he place his shield at literally anywhere on the map, but his deployment speed is 0.08 seconds long. That is almost instantaneous. This makes things like blocking Reinhardt Shatter easy to do. To put that in perspective, you need to have a shield deployed by half a second in order to block Reinhardt Shatter. Sigma shield takes 80 milliseconds to deploy. Of course, there are plenty of other reasons why this shield is really good, but as a Reinhardt main, this is the most important one to me. And now for the most important one and the most complicated one, Sigma's ult Graphitic Flux. When you activate Flux and you lift the enemies up, you do 50 damage. That 50 damage can be altered by Mercy Damage Boost, Ana Nano Boost, or Xana Discords. And now for the part that throws some people off. The second half of Sigma's ult is when he slams the enemies down onto the ground. That will always do a consistent 50% of the enemy's max HP. Using this ult greatly increases Sigma's mobility, giving him a small boost of movement speed, and also he can just kind of fly. That's probably the more important one. The radius of his ult is 7 meters wide, which is actually really big, but because there's a casting time, enemies who are not in the center of your ult can easily move out of it. On top of all of this, Sigma has my favorite quality when it comes to abilities, which is just how cool it looks. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I'll excuse quite a lot of bad balancing if the character itself looks and feels really cool. Unlike Ramatra's ult, which looks really cool but is very overpowered, Sigma's ult looks really cool but is very balanced. Out of every single ability in Overwatch, Sigma has my favorite one. And this is a big deal because I don't think Sigma's a very fun character. But there's something that just draws me towards the rock. I don't know what it is. It's something in my heart. It's my favorite ability. It's something that I need in my life. And Overwatch has provided the funny rock. And I'm not even joking about this. There's no other ability in Overwatch that gives me the same satisfaction as throwing a rock at someone. It's just so perfect. And I think it has something to do with how effective but simple this ability is. Let's look at Kiriko's Protection Zuzu. We all know how this ability works. We've seen it before. It's ruined most of our games. You do 50 healing with it, but most importantly, you're invincible for 0.85 seconds long, and its cooldown is 14 seconds long. And now here are all the unique interactions with it. Try and look at it like this. Hero name, Sigma. Ability, Funny Rock. All unique interactions. Brain damage. You're playing a game with meteor strikes, rocket barrages, straight up aimbot, an actual nuke, I guess. Really big dragons. Really small dragons. Artillery strikes. And whatever this is. Taking all of this into consideration, surely you understand why I let out a little chuckle every time I throw a rock at someone. And this is the only way I can enjoy Sigma, because I just don't find his normal playstyle funny. I mean fun. And I know what you're thinking. Cue the cool music. So you're gonna tell me after all of that we just watched, after you talking about all of his abilities and how great he is, you're gonna diminish him to just a funny rock? That's all you're going to do? I think Sigma has the coolest design, the coolest backstory, the coolest voice actor, everything about him is perfect, and all you can think about is the funny rock. You must be absolutely delusional. It's very clear that you don't play this character a lot because you would understand why he's really fun. Enjoy being stuck in gold, you meta slave, because clearly you don't know how to play the game, which means you won't ever rank up. I hate you and every single thing you stand for. Just thinking of you makes me die inside. Wow, I can't believe you said all that. The reason I did have that whole segment where I destroy my voice is because I do get comments all the time on every video talking about how I'm trying to be controversial so I can get a good title or a good thumbnail and get people to click. But to be honest, it's just never that deep. This video could be split up into two sections. The first half is talking about why Sigma is one of the best characters in the entire game, and the second half is just where my monkey brain is. I feel like Sigma is the perfect example of my philosophies when it comes to who I like as a character. Sigma does everything right except for the gameplay, in my opinion. I want to play a character like Reinhardt. Sigma does not deliver that. I recognize that Sigma is one of the most loved characters for his gameplay and his character and his personality and his everything. People love Sigma and I understand that. Unfortunately, I just don't like his playstyle, and that's all it comes down to. I still love him as a character as well. And he holds the honor of having my favorite ability in the entire game, which is the funny rock. Alright, that is the end of the Overwatch portion of the video, which means if you don't care about anything else besides Overwatch, feel free to leave, and thank you very much for watching, or coming back, because it's been a while. So, a lot of stuff has happened, such as I broke that weekly schedule, to avoid burnout, to avoid a lot of things, and to have just more planning. Also, by the way, if you're new, this is the part where I rant and shit just flows horribly. There's a lot to talk about, so I don't really know where to start, besides the fact I just want to talk about the quality of the videos and the thumbnails. Starting off with the simple one, the thumbnails. Do you like it? Yes or no? This one was a little bit, it was scuffed. It didn't look as good as I wanted it to be. It'll be normally, hopefully, a bit more clear, a bit more HD. But do you like the direction of it? Do you like where it's going? Or would you rather just the classic white background, red text character doing a thing at the front? And then the other thing, which is the most important one in my opinion, is the quality of the videos. So I realize the more I do the higher quality stuff, the less room I have to just say extremely dumb shit. And I just want to know, do you guys mind, or did this have the perfect amount of dumb shit with like professionalism, or I don't know. Did you like the video? And now for the elephant in the room, which is, this isn't a Brig video. Believe it or not, Sigma is not Brigitte. It's very hard to distinguish the two. So my Overwatch folder is now like 30 clips of Brig and then like a bunch of Sigma clips. I was planning on doing the Brig video. It was in the works, but it just had no direction. And, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, please don't kill me for not making a Brig video, but I just don't want to force myself. Like, once again, I hate my Baptiste and Junkrat videos so much with how low quality they were. I just really want to avoid not having an idea of what I want to say and what I want to do. So when it came to that Brig video, even the intro didn't have a direction. So I guess that's it. I'm just explaining why it isn't a Brig video, but it's also just involves just my whole philosophy of, I'm really trying to hammer down on quality. It is kind of like my own little vendetta, my own little mission to improve Overwatch quality in general, because I'm just really bored of just streamers uploading just clips of their streams and making a shit ton of money off it. I'll be honest, it's really sad, it's really lazy, and then they also complain about Overwatch having little community content. And it just gets me thinking about the very old days of Overwatch 1, like 2Mad and That Punch Kid, all of that stuff. People making high quality stuff because they love the game, but now it's just full of people making low quality stuff because it makes money, and it's really disappointing. So I don't know, that's just I almost want to start like a little bit of a revolution, and not a revolution at all. People, they're still gonna, make money the way they can, but if I could do anything about it, I would want to give the Overwatch community almost inspiration to make better stuff, because my content isn't like professional at all. I try really hard, but it's just not at that level, right? There's a lot that I need to learn, and I understand that, but there are people that are really good at editing that can do that type of stuff to make it look really good. And I want to incentivize them. Maybe don't go down the easy route, I mean, you can, if it's just all about money for you, go down the easy route, right? But like, I like Overwatch. I like the Overwatch community. I want it to thrive. I want it to survive. But currently it's just getting milked by Blizzard and streamers. So anyway, now that I've ruined my entire fan base because I shit-talked big streamers and that was just career suicide, goodbye, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you later.